After the little event with Sanami, we started over. We still seemed annoyed. He still seemed annoyed, I'm sorry. But I understood he's the type of person to just always be angry. He at least had a conversation with me while having ramen. I was visiting the butterfly estate and I saw Shinobu. Shinobu-san! I hugged her from behind. Hello, Lin-chan. I was about to have some tea. Would you like to join me? I nodded my head. I'd be delighted to. She poured me some tea and we chatted about different things. Lin-chan, why did you become a demon slayer? You're so kind and beautiful. You could have lived a peaceful life. Possibly find a husband and maybe start a family. Why did you choose this life? She asked. She did have a point. The Ubershiki didn't force me to become a demon slayer. They said my life was mine to choose. I became a demon slayer to help others, rather than slaying demons and setting them free, or rather saving humans from being killed. All my life, I've always wanted to help people, just like my parents. I said, looking down at the cup, remembering the good times I had with them. You're so much like your sister. She had a kind soul and compassionate heart, like yours. She the reason I kept smiling even after her death because she loved it so much. Even though you're angry almost all the time. She looked at me surprised. I'm sorry, but I can tell from your aura that you're almost always angry. I put my cup down and sat next to her. I softly... I'm so sorry for the yawning. I softly put my hands on hers. I know that you're angry, having something taken away from you, knowing that it will never come back, but I don't wish for you to feel this way. First, you're someone I've gotten to know, so I consider you a friend. My friends and family hold a special place in my heart. Anyone who holds place in my heart, I want to make them happy as much as I can. So I hope I can do the same for you. I smiled. Then my crow flew in and told me that I had received a letter. It was from Tokyo, asking me if I wanted to meet him at his estate. I got up and thanked Shinobu for the tea. I ran over there and knocked on his door. Okay, you actually came? He said, and I giggled. Of course I did. Is there something you need? He looked down and gave me something. I opened it and found a new Hori inside of it. It was beautiful. I know your old one was completely torn up. I happened to pass by a town and saw this in the display case. It reminded me of you, so I thought you might like it. He rubbed the back of his neck while looking away. I tried it on. Aw, Tokyo-san. That was so kind of you, but I don't like it. He looked at me and was about to say something, but I cut him off by saying, I love it. I said, swirling in it while laughing. He then let out a sigh. He allowed me to hang out with him a bit. We played a bit of Soji, which I lost every time. I had never been the best at playing those types of games. I returned to the butterfly estate and saw all the boys training, also trying to master total concentration constant. I fixed my hair in my room after taking a bath, which was allowed by Shinobu. Huh? Okay, I'm sorry. As I left the room, I saw Tanjiro running, and I followed him. He went to tell Inosuke that him and his sword were being... What? Here it says devoured. I think it's supposed to be developed. Developed, and their swordsmiths were nearby. We all ran outside. It turns out me and Tanjiro had the same swordsmith. I'm gonna butcher his name. Jigazwa? I think that's how you say his name. We saw him walking along with another swordsmith. He grabbed something from the other the other hand really fast towards Tanjiro with a knife. He barely missed. How dare you snap my precious sword in two? You got a lot of nerve, boy. I'm sorry, but I did almost die. My opponent was really strong. Then Hanijigazwa started poking Tanjiro's cheek really roughly and slowly getting faster and faster. Excuses, excuses, excuses. The only person you got to blame is yourself, got it? If you hadn't been so penitently, that's how it's said here, but okay, weak, it wouldn't have broken. There is no way it would have snapped like that otherwise. But I'm going to kill you. Then he started chasing Tanjiro around with a knife. After everything calmed down, we went inside and sat down. I finally got to greet Henijigazwa. I'm just going to butcher his name. I'm sorry. It's nice to finally meet you again, Hajigana-san. He looked at me. Oh, hello. I can see everybody has been able to keep their swords from breaking, he said, glaring at Tanjiro. I slightly giggled. May I see it again? I nodded and pulled it out. He slowly ran his hand over through it and sighed. I think this is perhaps the greatest sword I've forged, and not because of the color. I can feel how well I made it. It could use a bit of sharpening, though. He pulled out something and started sharpening it, but then I heard loud yelling and turned to see Inosuke smashing his sword with a rock to create trest? It says trest. Okay. To create rough, sharp edges. Tanjiro was holding back the swordsmith who made the sword because he was about to attack Inosuke. You dirty swine! That's it. You're a dead man. The swordsmith yelled at Inosuke as Tanjiro apologized. Done. I heard Hanijigazwa say, and I went over. It was even sharper than before. In fact, I barely grazed the blade and I cut my finger. Man, when you sharpen something, you seem to sharpen it to perfection. That will indeed be very helpful in battle. Thank you, Shinigazwa-san. I truly mean it. He patted my head and pinched my cheek. It's nice to hear my work being appreciated. I hope I can sharpen it sometime sooner. I saw the girl with the green and pink butterfly clip. I think her name was Kanao Sinure. I think that's how you say her last name. Yeah, that's right. Oh, wait, no, Okocho, which is Shinobu, talked about her. Apparently, she was a flower breather type user. Hello, today is lovely, don't you think? She looked at me and just stared. You're Kanao, right? Kocho told me a bit about you. She said your breathing style is flower. Is that right? My mother was actually once a flower-type husher before she retired. She took out a coin and flipped it. That's amazing. So you're following in your mother's footsteps? I smiled. Yes, actually my father's too. So he's a water breather. He retired as well as my mother did because she became pregnant with me. After that, we had a nice chat. Why do you flip the coin before you start talking to me? She looked at me. It helps me decide. Tails, I talk to you, and heads, I don't. I looked at the coin. A coin. Do you want to pick? I mean, everyone has free will. It doesn't matter, meaning nothing matters to me, so I can't decide for myself. Well, I believe that's nothing in the world. That doesn't matter. I believe people should follow their hearts. I think you just need to pay a little more attention to that heart inside of you and hear what it has to say. It is important to follow orders, but here, can I see the coin for a second? She handed it to me. I stopped up and flipped it up. If it lands on heads, I want you to listen to your heart. I caught it. We both looked at it, and when I lifted my hand, it came up as heads. I smiled and celebrated. It came up heads! I grabbed her hand and gave her the coin back. Listen, the heart is the thing that will give you the power to move forward and grow stronger. If the thing that drives people. Please grow it as strong as you need to be. I told her, but I suppose I was going on a mission soon. But she grabbed my wrist. How did you make it come up heads? Just by chance, or maybe a power force knew it was time for you to start following to your heart. But I'm not going to lie. Even if it came up as tails, I was going to flip it until it became heads. Please listen to your heart, and take care, Kanao. I was in front of the estate with the boys. As we prepared to leave, the three triplets saw us off. We arrived at the train station. Inosuke and Tanjiro have never seen one before. Apparently the mission was some demons were on the train. I brought the four of us some tickets, then told them to get onto the train. But then Inosuke started causing a commotion, which alarmed the authorities. We had to run away, but the train started moving, so we jumped onto it as it was taking off. We were officially starting our trip on the Mugen train. It is officially the Mugen train arc. Let's see if Rengoku survives this time or not. But here is two memes to hopefully make this funnier. No, it won't though.